Three, two, one. Peace and blessings, everybody. This is Karev from Heritage Hip Hop. I'm in COVID. Unfortunately, I'm COVID positive, but that does not stop the Heritage Hip Hop flow. Right now, I have on the show somebody not only do I respect, I actually seen him come up a little bit, and to see you come up and to have respect for you is a very big deal to me as a man. Please introduce yourself to everybody that's watching.
Abwon. That's Abwon, bro. We've known each. You gotta let them know we like know each other in real life.
Yeah,
We like
yeah,
know each other in real
from
life.
way back before the music. You know
Well,
what I'm
yeah, I
saying?
know. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
like, like it was like but we worked together.
Correct.
Yeah, we worked together at a movie theater,
Yep.
and we've seen some of the most racist and exotic things ever at the movie theater in Wayne, New Jersey. Shout out to Wayne, New Jersey.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was out in like Cedar Grove, Montclair, and all that other stuff. But so I'm a media producer and a media personality. I own a media production company called Moonlight Media. Shout out to Jen D. Camera, that's my business partner, and Elijah Charles. He's, I guess you could call like our senior videographer, if that's even. We didn't even give him a title. We just call him a colleague. But I pretty much work in front of the camera, interviewing creatives, and I do a little bit of acting, and I also work behind the camera with videography, film. We have a TV show called The Cinematics on Hall Mills Network on Roku right now. We just started resuming production on that on Saturday, and the new season will begin in January. So I'm trying to do a little bit of everything, man. It started out on YouTube on my little iPhone 7. I got Black Magic cinema cameras now. You know what I'm saying? Lenses out the wazoo. We trying to make it happen. I'm just trying to get in where I fit in. That's pretty much it.
Now you are making that happen, and we're going to talk about that journey, and we're going to talk about the understanding of what hip hop is and how you capture it with your craft. So first and foremost, let's be real. What exactly is hip hop to the eye instead of to the ear?
To the eye, I think it depends on who you're asking. If you're asking somebody that really isn't part of the culture, they're gonna think to the eye it's pretty much like baggy jeans, do-rags, scullies, how people dress. If you ask somebody that is part of the culture, it really is it's really about how people carry themselves. That's how I look at it. Like, I could be at a cipher with somebody who's like Jewish with a yarmulke on, or like a Spanish dude, and they'll look completely different. Like they don't wear jeans, they'll wear like chino pants with moccasins, Toms or whatever, but it's still that hip hop culture. It's how they conduct themselves. You know what I'm saying? To the ear, we already know what it is to the ear, but even then, you got to be tricky because you got a lot of culture vultures out here.
And that's my point, because I think we use the term culture vulture too loosely when it comes to people who don't understand what hip hop is or don't really know how to maneuver themselves. Because a vulture eats something that's dead. Hip hop is very alive. You know what I'm saying? When I think of culture vulture, I think of somebody who's just taking, and not giving something back. Do you agree?
I'm still on the part where you said hip hop is very much alive. It
Mm-hmm.
is.
Yes,
It
by
is.
far.
It
By
it
far.
is. It is. It's not dead. It is. But I feel like rap is a lot bigger than hip hop at this point. And I
Really?
think I think rap is like the bastardized version of hip hop
Rap
because
is bigger than hip hop right now. That's very interesting.
you look at it like I saw a meme the other day, and hip hop is the art of it's the craft of creating music, going to ciphers, doing battle raps, rapping on the corner for free. Rap is pretty much people out here. I need to make the hottest record out right now so I can sell records. I got to be out here in music videos with the hottest cars. We know the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
Lil Xan is not hip hop. Lil Xan is rap. That's
Right,
rap. You
right,
know what I'm saying?
right,
Whereas J. Cole is hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? So,
right.
but there aren't a lot of people on the same platform as J. Cole or Kendrick or even Kanye with all the hijinks he got going on, even Kanye, that you can pretty much say are hip hop. A lot of the artists that you listen to on the radio right now, if you turn on the radio right now, how many of
Mhm.
those artists would you really think would do this music thing for free?
Well, that's the point of defining what hip hop is and what hip hop is not. You see what I'm saying? And what you're talking about is one of the crafts that go into the hip hop culture, which is the spoken part, which is the rap. But I like to give a detailed example of what I think hip hop is. To me, the first music that you ever heard was your mom's heartbeat. That's hip hop. Because just like the drum is the heart of the beat, your heart is the drum that made impacted your life and actually forms the rhythm of your life. You see what I'm saying? When you walk through life, you take a journey. To walk your journey, you have to take steps. When you write music on lines. Those lines are called the steps of line paper for music. When your body is working together and you're healthy, it's called harmony. When sounds come together and blend into one unique sound that gives you enlightenment, that's called harmony. So hip hop for me is not mostly what you say, it's a state of life, it's a being. Then if we only take the one rap, I mean the only the word part of it, we can even separate that as rapping and then language. And it grows from there. My thing is, from the trained eye, hip hop is bigger than rap because you can see through a person's rap and know that they're lying. You know what I'm saying?
You
But if
think
you,
so?
I do. I personally do.
You think
Yes.
me? You think people that aren't involved in the culture like me and you would be able to see that? Because I
Yeah.
don't think so.
It depends on where you're looking at it from. If you're looking at it just to be entertained and you don't take it serious, then yeah, that's why we have
Takashi.
well, no. Takashi's more hip hop than people give him credit for. I'm not a
No, he's
fan.
not.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He's a troll.
That's hip hop though.
No, he's not. Because his
Yes, it
music,
is.
his music is not progressing the culture.
But that's like I said, that's the one thing we're looking at was the music. Takashi is the master of marketing.
He is a master of marketing. Yes.
That's hip hop. He went against the grain to whatever was popular and did his own thing and made a lane. That's hip hop. Now, everything else that goes around him is that hip hop? I would say no. But I gotta give him credit for what he had done right. I just don't agree with who he is.
I mean, I don't agree with that either, but I also feel like that I would not attribute that to hip hop as much as I would attribute it to America's fascination with criminals.
No,
or not even no, I wouldn't even say criminals. Yeah. I think America's fascination with folks that kind of don't do the orthodox day-to-day things. Because let's be real, OJ Simpson is still a celebrity out here.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's still a celebrity. He's still a celebrity out here. And every year, movies come out based on true events by serial killers. America has an affinity with serial killers, all of these drug dealers, things like that. So nobody's looking at OJ like, yeah, that's hip hop what he did, bruh. Nobody's looking at,
because OJ doesn't signify hip hop though. And the thing about Tekashi is this: Tekashi got big because of racism, because people want to see our culture destroyed and taken apart. People will empower somebody like that for us to destroy ourselves.
Oh, of course. So but then
that's his power.
But they don't necessarily need a light-skinned guy with multicolored hair and tats on his face to do that.
Yeah, they tried it with MC Hammer before that.
You know what I'm saying? They can take people that look like me and you and do the exact same thing and probably reach more people.
They tried, no, they wouldn't, but they tried it with MC Hammer. They tried it with him. They tried it with a couple people in hip hop that people, I'll give Hammer credit though. He was doing it from the kindness of his heart and found God and they wanted to do better. But the machine and the industry always puts plants into the game to try to destroy the game from the inside out.
Yeah. They do. I mean, there's plants everywhere. So, I mean, we get it. That's what I'm saying. Do you think me and you could spot a plant? You take a 17-year-old white dude from the burbs, he is not going to know the difference. He's just listening to whatever his people think is hot.
Because it's just for entertainment. That's my point. If you're looking at it just to be entertained, let's look at it a different way. Look at the people who are really in the comic books. Like if you look at a comic book movie and you're not in the comic books, you'd be like, okay, that was a good story. But for somebody who knows it, they'd be like, no, that didn't happen in the book. That's not what happened to this character. That's not. So they're able to dissect it from the lens that they're looking at things with. Which is funny about what you do with your lens, because you direct and you capture the picture. So, so understanding that, what do you think is the most important thing that attracts hip hop to the culture and the people in the culture visually, besides like twerking in today's society?
You mean like if you're watching a music video?
Whatever you want to take it.
I think it's the allure of being a celebrity in that hip hop environment. There's just something about watching a music video, and this goes to people like you and me. When we were growing up, there was just something about watching Tupac spit on the lens in defiance. There was something about watching Diddy dance up there looking real cool with everybody in these music videos. You don't look at people like Led Zeppelin that way.
Hell no.
You look at them like, oh, word, like, okay, Aerosmith, all right, cool, that's dope, that's a really good song. But you could take some as great as somebody like a band like Van Halen or Nine Inch Nails. My Instagram going crazy. Nine Inch Nails or whatever may have you. As great as they are, you could take a rapper like Blueface and be completely enamored by him because of that character. The allure of why is he so hot right now? You know what I'm saying? Which is why a lot of hip hop artists and rappers are the biggest trendsetters that we have. I mean, look at I was just on a podcast last week. We were talking about Travis Scott, and I'm a Travis Scott fan. I do consider Travis Scott hip hop. He's not the greatest lyricist, but that's neither here nor there. But if you look at Travis Scott, he's like a branding guru at this point. This guy got his own cheeseburger.
Wait. You just said something that made me think. Good point. 2 points. 2 points. Let's go to the first one. Do you have to be lyrical to be hip hop though?
No.
And we've known that for years. So why is that a standard?
To be lyrical?
Why is that a standard in hip hop that to be lyrical, you're hip hop? When there's so many artists from the 80s, 70s, and so on that weren't lyrical at all and they're considered hip hop.
I think that really just goes. I think folks look at it like if you don't have good lyrics, you're just not that great of a rapper. And then there's folks out there like, well, he's not a lyricist, so he's not a rapper, but he's a great artist. And they try to differentiate the two. Like, he's an artist, he's not a rapper. They'll look at somebody like Benny the Butcher and be like, yo, not only can he make great music, but this man got bars.
Yeah, he's different.
And he's different. And then they'll look at somebody like Chance the Rapper and they'll be like, oh, well, he just makes great music. He's just a great artist. Now, I think now the times have changed as to how people view entertainers and recording artists in the hip hop realm. Whereas if you try to debate somebody with the whole J. Cole versus Drake debate, that's like the oldest one in the book. It's like the whole Kobe and LeBron thing, the Drake versus J. Cole debate. You have people that'll side with Drake because he got more hits. Oh, well, J. Cole ain't selling like him. And then you got people with J. Cole on the J. Cole side, like, okay, well, he can sell just as much without the features, but he got better bars. It's always a caveat. They always like push the field goal back. They never be like, well, he's dope even if he ain't that hot lyrically. But I mean, it just is what it is. It's a whole, you can make the argument about the Migos.
Yes, you can. I think they're more hip hop than people give them credit for.
I think so too. Future as well. People look at him like, yo, Future is so trash, this and that.
Now that's
I'm
different.
But he's a great songwriter though.
I'm not a Future fan. I don't listen to his music, so I have no opinion on that. I'm not going to say he is or isn't. But I mean, I take it back to the old school. Everybody talks about LL Cool J and Big Daddy Kane, right?
Okay.
Biz Markie never had a hotline in his life, ever.
Okay.
But Biz Markie is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you want to take it to a whole nother level, you said Travis Scott has his own cheeseburger, and that's more hip hop today than it would have been considered hip hop 20 years ago.
Correct. Because now we're looked at as businessmen.
Exactly. Branding.
Correct.
So if you understand that hip hop is defined by brands, what is the Abwon brand? And tell us about Moonlight Media and that brand too.
Moonlight Media, we do everything from like light graphic design to, I mean, now we're doing event production. I got an event this Saturday called Wasted Words. It's open mic / spoken word event. It's going to be live streamed and everything. So we pretty much do everything. I know when people tune in to what I do, they know they're going to get two things: honesty and consistency. You know what I'm saying? Some people may say the quality is good, but they like the content better. I've had people come to me specifically just for my movie reviews. They don't watch anything else. Yo, I love your movie reviews. They don't watch anything else. And I know people that come to me and they only watch my interviews, but they know I'm going to be consistent and I'm going to be honest. In terms of Moonlight Media, they're going to get professionalism. They're going to get folks that are reliable. Excuse me. And they're going to get work ethic because we show up. We don't take breaks. We don't drink on the job. You know the quality of video or whatever we're doing for you. You know you're going to get the quality of it. And that communication is going to be crisp and clear. And then we're going to build that relationship going further.
Punctuality is a key to legit business and artist. Like I love the fact that there was a story about Eminem where he said he comes to the studio at 8, he does his thing, he clocks out at 5, and he is who he is. He don't do late nights with weed and all that. He has a business regimen.
Word.
How has professionalism on your end been affected by the non-professionalism of hip hop culture?
I'll be honest with you. I've probably we haven't worked with a lot of non-professional individuals, but we have worked with a few. I
Yeah,
was
they're
on
out there.
set. I was definitely on set for a film that we were producing. I'm not going to say it. I'm sure the folks that are listening now probably know what I'm talking about. And there was a gentleman on there that was, I guess he was kind of jealous that he wasn't part of the production team. Came up there being real disrespectful, wasn't being a team player. And, we asked him to do something for the betterment of the team. And he just had he just had a hissy fit. He was just a complete diva. Like, I'm not doing that. F you, F this, you F and do that, blah, 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 blah. I'm a professional in every sense of the word. I don't send emojis when I text. I don't send emojis when I send emails. I'm not sending no LOLs. Like, we're going to keep it professional on all aspects. If we develop that type of relationship where we're on a first name basis, okay, cool. But real talk, bro, if I see him out, if I saw him outside, it's on site. But that day, you know what I'm saying? It's on site. But that day, I was like, okay, bro, like, I'm gonna get it. I see you. I see you. We're gonna keep moving. We're gonna keep moving. But for the most part, a lot of the clientele that we do deal with are professional. They understand that we conduct ourselves as professionals. And I think our pricing reflects that. Not saying that we're expensive, but since you're not just getting one person with the camera, you're getting multiple people with multiple cameras and multiple equipment. The pricing reflects that, especially moving forward in how we conduct ourselves and we keep that relationship and that communication open.
I respect that. So, how does being professional make you better at your craft?
I think it opens more doors for you, to be honest with you, because I'll be honest with you. Somebody invited me to the studio one time and I wasn't recording or anything. They just invited me, yo, pull up. I'm having a session with such and such. Wasn't a big artist or anything. I was there. The artist came through with like 7 of his homies. The engineer was there playing music. Not one verse was recorded. There was a whole bunch of drinking, a whole bunch of smoking, a whole bunch of BSing, a whole bunch of Instagram stunting. No music got recorded. And I was sitting there like, bro, you booked a 5-hour session for this? And the engineer came to me. He apologized, like, yo, my bad, blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, I'm never coming back to work with these people again. And that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? You're unprofessional on set. You're unprofessional behind the scenes. Word travels fast. You know what I mean? This industry is small. People know, yo, nah, don't mess with him. Don't mess with her. They do this, they do that. Then I just feel like your reach is not going to be as far.
Everybody listening, this is Heritage Hip Hop Correct speaking with Abwon of Moonlight
Yes,
Media, LLC, matter of fact.
Of course.
Because you're LLC, which means you are official, why is it important for an artist, a director, anybody who's doing a craft, why is it important for them to be LLC and not somebody who just does things as a hobby?
Because your ideas can get stolen. Your stuff can get stolen. And I just think people don't take you as seriously. You know, when I go to networking events, and I'll give you a perfect example, because I used to do music, right? When I was an artist and I would go to networking events and I would present myself, the first thing people would ask me is, what's your budget? What's your budget? What's your budget? What's your budget? Who's managing you? Who's representing you? Blah, blah, blah. It was always like I was a small fish in a pond full of sharks, and everybody was trying to see how many parts of me they can bite off.
Right.
I go into a place, I go into a networking event, and I'm like, okay, well, I own a production company. Everything changes. Oh, really? Okay, so let's work together, man. I own a catering company. You know, I own a fashion company, man. I'm looking to get some commercials done. I'm looking for some photo shoots. Now it's easier for us to build together, and it's just it creates a more professional environment. It's just crazy how people address you when they know you're legitimate, as opposed to you're just somebody doing it as a hobby and you want to grow that brand. But creating an LLC doesn't even cost that much, which is so crazy to me. But I don't think people are ready for that type of commitment. Once you create that business, that's a commitment. You got to pay yearly taxes and things like that. Folks are like, uh-oh, I'm in the deep end now. I'm not really ready for this.
Well, that's why I'm rebranding Heritage Hip Hop. We're going to keep celebrating hip hop culture, but we're also going to be teaching independent artists and people with brands how to successfully elevate their brand to the next level. Because there's many tiers, and what I tell all people that are really want to do music or really want to make comic books or really want to do directing, if you don't know what a Schedule C form is, you're broke. This is not for play. If you're really going to create, the Most High said, if you have a talent, you use it. It was a parable about the man he gave talents to that buried his talent, and he gave his talent back to the Lord. And the Lord said, you wicked, lazy servant. I gave you something and you didn't use it. And the thing is, whenever we're giving things, we got to use it to our benefit, and only for us, the benefit of the world. And for us, that's the betterment of the culture. So what do you give back to the culture with your gift, and how are you making it better through your vision?
So I work with a lot of artists. I do interviews as well too. So
Face to face on YouTube. Make sure y'all check that out.
We're face to face on YouTube. So I work with a lot of artists, and I also work. I do a lot of executive producing behind the scenes. People hit me up every day. I know I'm not out here saying I'm Diddy, I can open all these doors for you. I'm the ultimate gatekeeper. But if you tell me, yo, listen, I need a studio to record at because I'm tired of recording in my basement. Okay, cool. I know such and such studio 1, 2, 3. You can go to either one of them. I work with them personally, and we can work together. You need me to pull up to the studio to help with your session? We could do that too. Some folks hit me. They ask me, hey, listen to this song. What do you think I should do for the video? Just give me some ideas. Let's just brainstorm. I could do that too. You know what I mean? So it's the little things. I think I pride myself on being very approachable, but I also like to branch out and help people. I like to be the person that can create opportunities. There's a lot of folks in the Northeast, but we'll just talk about New Jersey. It's like a crab in a bucket mentality over here. People just don't want to help anybody. You know what I mean? They don't want to tell you who got them this, who helped them with that, this, that, and the third. I'm not like that. You know what I mean? I'm always on Instagram sending people opportunities. Yo, there's a fashion event. You're a fashion designer. You should pull up. They're looking, this is a casting call. You want to get into acting? You should pull up. I'm all about creating opportunities. And I think that's the only way the culture is going to go where we want it to go, as opposed to folks that don't know anything about it controlling the narrative.
The vulture syndrome.
Correct. Because that's only going to be destructive.
Oh, it has done its job to a point, because now you see people identifying it, and I'm talking back about it. You know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to West Coast Cam, who was a guest on Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. If you missed it, check Heritage Hip Hop YouTube like you are right now. Look at our past production with Cam. And we talked about culture vultures, and we talked about how the game was set up in a way where we give you a little, but we take a lot back from you. That's why people who have recording contracts that are the same contracts from the 1920s, where artists are dying broke and the record companies are taking all the publishing.
Thriving.
Speaking of that, have you seen all these people selling their publishing to the
company? Yep. L.A. Reid just did his too.
What do you think that is?
Somebody, shout out to Sharon. He's a co-writer, not co-writer. He's a writer for this upcoming film we're doing called Rent Money. He told me he thinks it's because streaming is on its way out, because now that Kanye is pretty much telling artists it's time to get out your deals and go independent, he thinks that streaming is going to be no more. Labels are about to go kaput. And it makes a lot of sense. Well, it definitely makes a lot of sense.
Well, look, did you hear what the shift of the culture will be at the end of this year?
In terms of what?
The labels. Did you hear that news at all?
No, I'm listening.
So Drake is dropping his last album.
Independent. Yeah,
if exactly. He goes independent.
It's a wrap.
But look here. This is the smart thing about independency that people sleep on. If you establish your name, you take full control of your career. That's why all these old rappers have podcasts, because if they come out with new music or they want to sell something, they go directly to you and don't have a middleman navigating their money. But the middleman is the most important part of hip hop and all music genre today. Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, Apple, those are the middlemen. Why do you think people shout out go to the middleman to get my music instead of come to me to get my music?
Well, I think in terms, I did hear the thing about Drake. I don't think they're gonna completely necessarily cut out like Spotify and all of that because
Oh no, they'll do their own
this.
deals with them.
You say that again?
They'll do their own deals with them, which is still stupid. But
Yeah, exactly. But I think right now they're trying to just get out of the labels because they just tired of somebody trying to tell them yes or no, or hold certain rights and percentages from them. Let's be real. The second if Drake goes independent, because you know what I'm saying, I don't really know too much about all of that, but I did hear about it. If Drake goes independent, it's a wrap for that label.
He has his own label.
He's got OVO Music. You know what I'm saying? He could pull out from whatever funding he's getting from, I think, Warner Brothers he's under or something like that. Mm-hmm. He could be like, yo, look, I'm the biggest rapper out right now. You know what I'm saying? And I have been for the last decade. So I don't need y'all. I got my own connections. Drake could put out a record at 2:57 in the morning and get hella streams. It don't matter.
Right.
So,
but look at this. Look at what Ghostface Killer did. He leveraged his artist to the point where, remember that song he dropped, Conditioning, that everybody was sweating? That song came out first in email. I'm a member of his page.
The mailing list?
Yeah, so his mailing list got the song first. That's what fueled that song rather than putting it on Spotify or putting it on Apple to stream first. He got his loyal fans there to bubble it for him. Same thing that they said about like with Biggie when he was bootlegging and ready to die. Yeah, regular people just buzzing about him. So you look stupid have it. So that made people want to get it. We live in a very nervous, nosy, Me Too culture.
Okay.
How do you leverage that culture to make yourself successful?
I think it's so now in terms of the Ghostface thing, I think that was a very smart move on his part, but it also goes back to you have to know your audience. That mailing list may not work for somebody else.
A new artist.
So, you know what I'm saying? New artists or even artists that are established, they may not be checking for them like that. You know what I mean? Like I know people that don't go on YouTube or don't go on Apple Music. They go on Vimeo or BuzzFeed or whatever may have you. I think it just goes into, you just got to really just know your audience. So to answer your question, when I drop, are you there? Oh, I thought my phone froze.
No.
my bad. I thought my
I don't want the COVID to catch me looking crazy on the thing. So I fade it back so I can talk to it and then come back to you. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Nah, I hear you. So to answer your question, I think Moonlight Media at this point, we just locked down the URL moonlightmedia.us coming soon. Make sure y'all tap into that. But right now it's just like you said, we live in a very Me Too
I'll just say nosy society.
Nosy is probably the perfect adjective because with the rise of social media in this digital age, everybody wants to know what you're doing. And I think that's a blessing and it's a curse. And it's a curse because folks that really don't know when to turn off that persona can get caught up, can get jammed up in some nonsense. But if you use it correctly, like how Jay-Z does, Jay-Z doesn't tweet at all. But the one time that he does tweet something,
everybody pays attention.
Everybody pays attention. So you have to understand how to know your demographic. You have to know how to know your viewership, and you have to use it to your advantage. Social media is really what you make it.
Well, what about this? The government is using social media to put policies in. I don't know if you've seen it, but Toronto's the Prime Minister of Canada or the whatever of Toronto, they're using social media to leverage people into the new digital age of identity, where they want everything done through digital ID now.
Yeah,
and they're leveraging people through Instagram, through Facebook, through
TikTok.
TikTok, especially, TikTok is political. So they're leveraging social media to update the world, as we say, to make everything digitized. Let me ask you this. The thing I like about you and I respect about you is you learn your craft. I've seen it in Face to Face. I've seen it on your show on Halls Mills Network when it debuted. I see it to this day. I think the number one thing an entrepreneur needs to do is always keep himself well informed and learned. What are the 3 most important lessons you've learned on your way up, not from your beginning?
don't burn bridges. Do
Mhm.
not burn bridges. Always seize an opportunity,
Mhm.
and always stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Facts. Now go into the burnt bridges. How have you seen that affect people negatively and positively?
I've seen people burn bridges with folks. Oh, I'm not rocking with this one. Whatever. They burn it for whatever reason. They do something else, and the same person that they burnt their bridge with is the same person that they need to create that. They need that opportunity with. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Oh, I
mm,
can't do this because this person's over there. Blah blah blah. It just is. I'll give you a perfect example. The gentleman that I was just telling you about that was unprofessional and had his temper tantrum
mm.
came to a mutual client that my partner Jen and I have. Well, I wouldn't even call her a client anymore. I think she's like a partner.
Okay.
Came there trying to pitch himself as an actor slash videographer,
Mm-hmm.
and our partner was like, "Oh nah, like I know he full of shit, and I know he be doing this, that, and the third because of what he did to y'all.
Word.
Burnt bridge. Now you can't cross that lake." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've seen it on my side too, where if everybody doesn't know, Heritage Hip Hop also does. We do more than music. Like I said, we teach independency to any artist, whether you're doing music, whether you're doing visual art, etc. Because we teach branding, how to own your brand. I've seen somebody throw a temper tantrum where they didn't even want to apologize for messing up an interview. They're like, "Well, it's my show. It's whatever happens." And to this day, nobody's on that show. There's nothing going on with it. So how you treat people in relationships is the number one thing that's important. That's part of the golden rule. You know,
Word.
treat others like you want to be treated. You know what I'm
Word.
saying? I mean,
I
that
definitely
is what it
agree.
is. You know, but let's talk about the vision of hip hop nowadays.
Okay.
Hip hop has gotten very political. It's like coming back around towards people having self awareness. Why do you think that's important in this day and time for hip hop to take that voice?
I think it's been important. It's just music goes through their little stages of maturity, and that's every genre. And back when we had Soldier Boy and we had to crank that music, nobody was talking about being socially conscious. Everybody was just trying to dance. I think in today's climate and how powerful hip hop artists' voices are,
Mm-hmm.
it's extremely important that they speak out. I mean, this is happening in everybody's backyard. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just happening in southern states at this point. Like Eric Garner happened in New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just like Alabama and Mississippi anymore. They have to stand up. And I don't want to say, the one thing I do hate is that people look at their favorite rapper as an
As their
outlet.
leader.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as their
yeah,
leader.
yeah.
Oh, I'm mad as hell. I'm mad as hell that Meek Mill ain't say nothing about this. I'm mad as hell Lil Boozy ain't say nothing about this. Why are you worried about what they doing? And I
Because that's
get
my
it.
point. I
Go
understand
ahead.
everything you're saying. I understand everything you're saying, but that's my point. Hip hop has always been political, but you said music goes through its maturity. The thing about hip hop has always been a mature art form. It's just that when money came into it, people were suppressing the voices to make money.
Because it
Because,
got bastardized.
well, yeah, I agree with that. Because listen, I'm gonna ask you a common sense question. That's not going to take a common sense answer. Are all positive rappers conscious rappers?
Ooh, hold on. Give me a second. No, no.
Egg,
No. And you're right, because it's not a very common answer. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, yes, but. So you're right. No.
right? You know what I'm saying? So, but listen,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at hip hop from what it is to what it is now, is Kendrick Lamar a conscious rapper or is he a positive rapper?
I would say he's a conscious rapper.
Okay, is J. Cole a conscious rapper or a positive rapper?
I would say he's definitely a conscious rapper.
Okay, then what is T.I.?
I don't.
It's
Now,
just
now, 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 now. I wouldn't say Ti is a positive rapper either.
but
But
he's
at the same,
conscious.
but no, I wouldn't say he's conscious, bro. I
I
wouldn't say he's
would.
conscious. But here's the thing: musically, he's not. Outside of music, he is. And this is what I was gonna say.
Mhm.
This is what I was gonna say. You can't look at every artist as to what they do in the booth as to who they are outside of that booth.
Okay, so then listen. That's where hip hop draws the line from being a culture and not an art. The art is within the culture. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because think about it. Do we go at Like you said, Led Zeppelin. Do we go at Led Zeppelin and ask them what they think about abortion?
You're correct.
They'd be like, no, sing your goddamn song and that's it.
And that's it.
When we go to Meek Mill, I was affected by the judicial system. So now I'm going to do something about the judicial system. And now he's an advocate and leader for the judicial system reform. That's garbage. You know what I'm saying? I think he has the voice, but is he the leader of it? No. And the simple fact that we have people like Laura Ingraham who tell LeBron James, shut up and dribble, we're not really giving air to the power hip hop has due to us always trying to find somebody to represent us instead of us working on ourselves. That was hip hop's number one thing. Work on yourself, knowledge of self.
Not correct. Correct.
What do you think is the biggest lesson an artist or brand can learn through knowledge of self?
Know when to be humble and know your lane and know your lane. Know who you are. Know who you are. There was an article with ASAP Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked him, this is when the whole Trayvon Martin thing was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked him how he felt about it. Now I heard there were things omitted and edited out and doctored, whatever. That particular interview, he said, I'm not worried about that. I'm fucking white bitches. I'm good. Ain't no social injustice on this side. That wasn't verbatim, but it was something to that effect, that he really didn't care. A lot of people, he got a lot of heat from that. Afterwards, he tried to double back. Nah, they messed this up, blah, blah, blah. Boom. The whole thing happens with him in, where was that, Sweden? Where he got locked up?
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, I tell you no lie. That man was probably on the cusp of being one of the hottest artists out at the time. The second that article dropped, the whole world turned their back on him, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The whole world turned their back on him. And I think that was a moment in time where he wasn't humble, and he just didn't know his lane. And I get it. If you don't have anything to talk about with social injustice or whatever, you don't necessarily have to speak on it, but you don't have to say things like that. You could have just said no comment and kept it moving.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, let's be real. A lot of the times when these guys get put on these platforms, they tell you, don't ask me about this, that, and the third.
Yeah,
you know
I asked that to a lot of people, like, is there anything you don't want me to touch on?
Correct.
Yeah. And then,
so, I mean, his manager, I don't know if maybe they didn't ask him, or maybe they did tell them, don't ask him about this. And maybe they didn't expect that question to pop up, but the way he handled it was just ill-advised. And now look, I remember when he had got locked up, there was women all over, for good reason. There were black women all over social media. Go get those white bitches to bail you out now, ASAP. I wasn't even mad. I'm like,
well, that's the thing about social media in our culture today. Hip hop is so synonymous with the live here and now. You know what I'm saying? Being that you work with the camera, what do you think is the thing that the camera catches that people have to be very cognizant of to know how to always stay on point?
Oh, that's a really good question, yo. That camera catches a lot of personality that you may think that you don't have. That you may think you don't have. I mean, I'll be real with you. I don't like taking pictures. When I'm fly, if I'm at an event and I'm fly, I'll be like, yo, we about to have a quick photo shoot. But for the most part, I don't like taking pictures. But if we're rolling video, I'm in my lane. I've had people tell me, yo, you look better when you talk like this. Your smile is this, that, and the third. I filmed other people and they're like, yo, I look crazy right there. It really, I don't want to say you have to make sure you're aware of how you look, but if you're going to be in front of that camera, whether you're acting, walking down the runway or something, you better make sure you are on your game 130%, especially now, because you've seen people at the beach, celebrities at the beach, and the first thing TMZ does is post a photo about this person being out of shape.
Yeah. Yeah. Look how they did Billie Eilish. They were tearing her up in the last picture that she just had with the green hair. Yeah.
Her, Adele, with her at the
Jamaican thing.
Correct. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be mindful when you're in front of that camera.
Britney Spears right now. with the
What happened
cocaine
with her?
dance. You didn't see
With
the
the
cocaine?
cocaine dance?
Yeah, they have a song called "Cocaine Dance" that they play while she's dancing on camera. Britney Spears looked like she took a lobotomy again. She looked crazy. She looked real nuts right now. You know what
They've
I'm
been
saying?
coming for her for a long time.
Yeah, I guess the Madonna kids really did mess up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
can't
don't
tell
know.
you.
I don't know,
I
bro.
can't tell you. But the camera and the lens captures us at our best, at our worst, and at our most trying times.
Yeah.
I think in hip hop today, Ice Cube is the person going through the most trying time when it comes to hip hop. What is
I'm
your
mad they
opinion
do.
on
I'm
that?
mad they doing my man like that, bro.
But what is your opinion on it?
I think social media just. I think social media is just looking for somebody to get angry at again. It's just every other day. This cancel culture is trash. Every other day they trying to cancel somebody who they really can't cancel. They just angry at somebody. And he, excuse me, he even said it himself. You guys are trying to make it seem like I'm pro-Trump. I never said that. You know what I'm saying? So Ice Cube has been an advocate for social justice for so long. Why do they think that right now he would decide, you know what? Nah, I'm about to side with the devil because I done gave up. Like, why? Of all times, like
I don't
Big
know.
Three is booming. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but here's my thing though. I think that I think we don't give Donald Trump a lot of credit.
in terms of what?
I think he's one of the greatest presidents in American history.
How you figure that?
I'm going to tell you why. I don't think he's a great president because of policy. I think he's great at exposing the evil of America live on stage. The revolution.
I would agree with that.
The revolution is televised and streamed by a television star who's president. You know what I'm saying? And I think what happened with Donald Trump is people got a lot of heart that didn't have heart before. So all the voices are getting louder, louder, and louder. You know what I'm saying? And
he's like that liquid courage.
Exactly. Exactly. And what happened in what's happening in the Trump era of America, where America is now out of the world countries like 20th, we're not even number one anymore. I think what happened is, going back to your point of social media and this culture, we now have new definitions like kofifi, alternative facts.
Yeah.
We have all these things, right? An alternative fact is a lie, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
But we have that thing, and then because people want him gone, cancel culture grew out of the "you're fired" movement from The Apprentice. So now that everybody's like, I don't like that, let's get rid of it. You're fired. Personality, cancel culture is the fruit that came from his presidency and his politics. So when people try to cancel something, that's emotional outcry from a bunch of folks who don't have any education. No education.
Okay.
I like if you look at the Ice Cube argument, I would say a lot of people are angry but not understanding.
Correct.
What do you think? Tell me what you think.
That's really just what it is. They're angry. They're angry. People coming at 50 now because 50 said he's voting for Trump because he don't like Biden's tax plan. So now they coming at 52 like, oh, we about to cancel you too. And it's just like,
do you like his tax plan?
I can't speak on the tax plan because I'm not in that tax bracket.
So why are people upset?
That's what I'm saying.
You can only go by what
they're not understanding. They're not understanding. Like, I plan on being a multimillionaire one day. But I'm not there now. So that tax bracket, I'm looking at it like, damn, those taxes are high as hell, but I ain't got to pay it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. But let's keep it real. Let's look at it this way. Let's go back to Ice Cube and the lens of social media in real time. People heard Ice Cube met with Donald Trump and they worked together to make the Platinum Plan. Where if people did their research, they would know he never met with Donald Trump.
That's exactly. He said it too.
But here's the thing that bothers me out of everybody. And I had this conversation on another show. Shout out to the good fellas. I asked people, okay, you're mad at Ice Cube. Did you read the contract with Black America? Everybody says no. I said, okay. Did you read the Platinum Plan of Donald Trump? Everybody, no. So why the hell are you mad? You're going off what people say. You're not going off the facts. And I think in our society where you even go to the newspaper and it has typos all in the newspaper articles.
Oh
We
yeah,
have nobody really reading and doing the facts.
it's because they look at they look at headlines, and that's where they use the headlines to sway their opinion.
That makes
That's
us
really just it.
that makes us
I mean,
media
Homeboy
whores.
said it. Cube said it himself. He never met with him, and people still holding that against him. Oh, he lying. He lying. He know he did. He is sell out just like the rest of them. It's just like.
So let me ask you this: since we're going on politics, how do you feel about the athlete and the musician being the leaders of society when we have people who study policy, like people in hip hop? We have people who go to the newest artists to get all what they think, but they don't go to seasoned artists who've been paying dues to have an opinion as well. What do you think that is?
I think they do that because they know the seasoned artist isn't going to get the clicks. People aren't going to tap into them. Nas just came out with a new album, and he came out with that song where he said something about Doja Cat, right?
Yeah.
People was out. Now Nas is my guy.
Mm-hmm.
People were coming out like, yo, who is Nas to talk about Doja Cat? Like, bruh, sit down, old man. Like people would come to me and say this, like, who is he to be talking about somebody that's hot right now? And I'm just like,
that's the genius of why he did it though. Because now you're talking about him.
Nas is my guy, so I know he's gonna. The one thing I do like about Nas is that he's going to address things anyway, whether you tap in or not. You know what I'm saying? He's going to address it regardless. But I think the thing with hip hop and a lot of the viewers or fans of hip hop is that they are very fickle. They catch amnesia and they're disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the athletes, I will say this: I don't really. When it comes to athletes and or rappers, I don't really care who chooses them to be the ambassadors. But at the same time, I understand somebody like LeBron James, the platform that he has, how much power it has in terms of being a voice. I'm not saying every rapper or athlete out here needs to be doing it, because like we saw with their protests, they had the little boycott and came back to play 2 days later.
Which
nothing happened. Nothing happened. It was an injustice like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, so they had to make money.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I know they said they came up with some plan to give to the owners and all of that. Whatever. It is what it is. I can't speak on it because I wasn't there. But I think right now, in terms of America, if you had somebody who had a doctorate or whatever may have you, didn't rap, didn't do wasn't in the creative field at all, and he was out here speaking on social injustice, they would not want him on their show if it wasn't somebody like Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to somebody like Rick Ross, because they know the name is what sells. And quite frankly, I feel like a lot of these news outlets would prefer to have the rappers and the athletes up there because they know they may not be as knowledgeable on certain things as the person who really studies that.
And because you said that, I'm gonna go here. Before we go there though, shout out to everybody on the YouTube page, dropping those emojis and those comments. Salute to you. Thank you. Please like, share, and comment on this video. Share it to all your peoples. This link will be up so you can share it with your peoples. Support my man, support Heritage Hip Hop. Let's get back to the top conversation though.
What emojis they putting up?
Oh man, I see the prayer hands, I see fire symbols, I see the hundreds, the lightning bolts, Oz, everything. So we having a good conversation, man.
As long as we don't see no eggplants, we good.
Oh. Please, no eggplants or no peaches. No. All right, let's get back. So I'm still smiling. Okay, give me a second. All right. All right, so look, do you think it was? I mean, everybody, even Candace Owens. I got it. No. Candace Owens is very important. She's very, very important.
I think so too.
You have to know who your enemy is to know exactly what side you're on.
Excuse me, you're correct.
Candace Owens is definitely an enemy to the state of hip hop culture, especially when she blamed Breonna Taylor for being killed herself. That's evil. You know what I'm saying? But going back to Ice Cube and politics and things, I don't want to stay there. I just want to finish this up. We talked about athletes and musicians being given leadership roles. the most hip hop thing I think anybody who's really serious about change can do, they have to watch people like Roland Martin. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Have you watched Roland Martin?
Excuse me. Give me a second. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. Here and there, yes.
Roland Martin Unfiltered, I think, is one of the most important dialogues that we have. So is Heritage Hip Hop. So is Face to Face. So is Doggy Diamonds TV. You know what I'm saying? Like
Man, that name rang some bells, boy.
that's my guy.
What? Oh my God.
There's some people who really, when they do interviews and they talk about the realness of our culture, our brands, our ourselves as people, we really, really put it out there that this is important and that we have to have knowledge not only of self but knowledge of what's going on at hand. What was one person who touched your life and made you a better businessman and visionary at the same time?
Bruh, that question. That's a tough question.
Mm-hmm.
A better visionary and a better businessman
Together.
Woo wee. I don't know if anybody's actually. You know what? A better businessman, I would definitely have to say that would be my parents. Yeah, I would definitely have to be my parents. That word definitely shout, and they still together too. Shout out to them. You know what I mean? 30, I think 35 plus years, 30 plus years. Who knows at that point? But my father used to work for Merrill Lynch, and he actually worked in the World Financial Center, one of the Twin Towers. And after 9/11, he was laid off. Mm-hmm. And my mom always had her own business. So when I was a kid coming up, my dad was a breadwinner. My mom made her own business, but I was able to see the world, things like that. My dad taught me what it was to make sacrifices for the greater good and work hard. And after 9/11, he was laid off, whatever. But then he started his own company called Computicate. You know what I'm saying? And they would just tell me, listen, he's actually one of the first people to tell me about professionalism, because it was him and he had two partners, and one of the partners was going behind their back doing all types of other business deals under the name of the same company, but he was doing bad business. Like he was like breaching the contracts, like doing all types of dirt. And it was a poor reflection on their business. So that was definitely one of the first times where I realized, if I'm going to I knew later down the road I was going to create my own business. So that was pretty much one of the early lessons. Like, this is, you got to be mindful of the company that you keep. In terms of the visionary, it's got to be Ice Cube and 50 to me, honestly, not directly, but obviously, because I don't know them, but definitely indirectly. I watch a lot of, I feel like a lot of people in the creative field, they tend to emulate others. Mm-hmm. And I've seen Ice Cube go from NWA to Are We There Yet to the Big Three. You know what I'm saying? The basketball league that he has, if people don't know what it is. And we've all seen 50 go from 50 Cent, the rapper, doing mixtapes, to 50 Cent, one of the greatest selling artists of all time, to this great executive producer / regular producer actor doing his thing and creating business. I just look at things like that. Like, these are things that I want to do. They haven't really affected my vision. Only I can do that. You know what I mean? Only I can do that.
I respect that. That's a dope answer, because that means you're always influenced and the world revolves and you evolve with it. You know what I'm saying?
All the time, bro.
So it's almost time to close this thing up. We got 6 minutes left, but I want to go a little longer with you so we can play the rapid fire questions, because this is the first real interview I have with you, and not just, you know what I'm saying? For everybody out there who missed it, we did the love and hip hop conversation.
Fire.
Make sure you go back on Heritage Hip Hop. You can put it in the YouTube search bar, Love and Hip Hop, Heritage Hip Hop, and you can see us. And I think we vibe good together. We have a good.
That was on my channel too. That was on my channel too.
So you got 2 channels to check it on. So I'm gonna get them views up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a real good interview.
Yeah, I think we got a similar chemistry, because you are a visionary and I am a visualist.
Okay.
A visionary sees something and goes with it. A visualist sees something and reflects on it or reacts to it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to learn what you have, but I'm trying to do what you do at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
And what
that's a very flattering statement, bro. Because for one, I've never been called a visionary before, so I definitely appreciate that. But I've never
really?
had somebody say something like that to me either. I mean, I don't look at myself like people tell me like, "Yo, I love what you're doing. I've seen you go from YouTube to what you're doing now." I don't necessarily look at myself like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the thirst for success is never ending.
No, I understand that. And you know what? That's why I gave you that visionary thing, because listen, I don't know what other job you have, but you have gone from where you're at to a plateau that many people dream of and don't even have the courage to go to. I'm on the reverse side of it. I have the courage, but I don't have the time because I have a lot of responsibilities. You see what I'm saying? So
I see.
while we may move fast or slow, we're still moving.
Correct.
That's why vision is the most important part of what I said. Because a visionary sees it, goes to it, points, let's go. A visualist to see it like, all right, go ahead, I got your back. Because no matter what happens, I'm coming with you. You see what I'm saying? Those are the gifts of a visualist and a visionary. You know what I'm saying?
Dropping knowledge right there, boy.
And those
That's
are
what it
real, and those
is,
are
boy.
real words. You know what I'm saying?
Fire, boy.
You know what I
Fire,
mean?
bro.
And I mean that's what's important about what we do. Before we go into the giving everybody your social medias and things, and we thank everybody for watching this. I have one question for you. You said earlier that people are like crabs in barrels in New Jersey.
Correct. I just feel like in the Northeast in general.
Yeah, because this is the metropolitan area. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
But crabs don't live in barrels. That's why they're fighting. What do you think it is that represents the barrel for all the artists and all the creatives that's making them fight each other?
I would say the next level, the next bag.
Oh, I hate that term. But go
You know
ahead.
what I'm saying? I mean, I hate it too, but you know what it is. Like the next opportunity, the next spot for to be solidified. Something. It's just everybody wants, excuse me, everybody's in the room, everybody's hungry, everybody wants that piece of cake, but not everybody's gonna get it. And I think instead of one person getting a slice and cutting that slice in half to share with the next man, they'd rather take 2 slices and keep that to themselves.
And hip hop we call riding your own dick.
That too.
Yeah, that's what we call that.
That
Pardon
too.
the language, everybody. Sorry if I offended.
That too. But don't listen, man. Don't knock it though. Sometimes you got to pat yourself on the back and let yourself know. Listen,
that's
I'm that
two
dude.
different things. Wait, that's two different
things.
But
you're right. You're right. Because you can still hit them with like a little quick, like a humble flex. You can hit them with a humble flex.
Yeah, but some people are just too ridiculous with it. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel you. They be acting Hollywood for no reason.
How do people act Hollywood and they ain't even get nothing yet? Look, man, let me tell you the truth about something. For everybody out there, heritage hip hop has been around since 2017.
Okay.
Officially. So that we're like 3 years on the books, 4 if you count how we do the award show, right? I do interviews with artists that don't even share the damn interviews, man. That's trash. Hollywood. You know what I'm saying?
It's trash.
And shout out to MJ, one of the people I work with. She got on her artist, and my numbers jumped from 3 views to 206 views in like a half hour. And I'm like, that's all it takes is for the artist to care like we care. And you know what? That's an interesting question. I'm gonna ask you this. What is the tools that you think artists fail at to make themselves successful when it comes to media, like our type of business?
I just don't think they branch out enough.
That's called a promo tour.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Whether a promo tour, media tour, whatever, I just think I don't think they branch out enough. How many artists got like 6 mixtapes out, but they don't got one interview? They've never been on any platform.
I could tell you a whole block in Newark like that.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, yo, I'll reach out to artists and I'll say, everybody knows who you are that messes with you, but outside of that little circle, nobody else knows who you are. And the ego, oh nah, chill. I'm trying to raise my audience organically. Nobody's telling you to buy subscribers or buy followers, bro. But you gotta branch out and create these relationships. They just don't want to do it. My manager gonna do that. My agent gonna do that. My publicist gonna do that. You got to do the legwork yourself. A lot of artists are lazy, especially rappers. They're lazy, bro. They don't want to do none of that work. They just want to go into the booth, rap about whatever they rapping about, jump on Instagram, post whatever they posting for clout, and that's it.
You know who started that?
Oh,
Fabulous. The
yeah.
emulating Fabulous. Fab is like, I don't promote nothing. Just
Too
say I'm
cool
there
for
and it's good.
school.
Yeah.
Too cool for school. But it's
you know
trash,
what?
bro. And we live in a digital age where we live in a digital age. You could post something, and if I was a rapper, I could post a video of myself dropping a 16 right now and post it and get 300 views.
Yeah, so that's 300 more people who know you're there. Even if you want to fractionalize it, that's still 33% of the people that's not in your audience that could have went there. That's why reels are so important. Because
now if you got somebody else that could do the same thing you're doing and they get 600 views, why would you not want to connect with that person? It's just crazy to me.
It's reality, you know what I'm saying? But before we go into the last part of the interview, don't be crazy, everybody. Make sure you support my man right here. Drop your social medias and all the stuff that you're doing so people can follow you.
Yo, man, you can hit me on Instagram, ABWONUNO. That's it. There's somebody, it's crazy. They got somebody on Instagram who's got the name Abwon, and I've been reporting that person since I started my Instagram to try to get rid of them because I want that name, and they won't get rid of them. They haven't posted in like 7 years. That's it. Abwon, ABWONUNO. If you got a Roku, download Hall Mills Network on there and watch my TV show, The Cinematics, man. Shout out to Jen D. Camber, that's my business partner. Shout out to Prince Charles, that's my musical director for The Cinematic Show. And he also does a lot of shooting with us. He shoots for Hot Rod on the weekends and everything, man. We're doing a lot of big things, Moonlight Media, 2020 and beyond. Believe that.
Hey, man, we're going to hit the support. For everybody who didn't know, COVID affected Heritage Hip Hop very strongly. We had to pivot towards podcasting, which has been very successful. But we were supposed to have our award show, and Moonlight Media was going to be the people, and we're still going to petition for them to be our go-to for anything that we want to do big. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get that call first before anybody else, all right?
You already know. We out here.
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we play the rapid fire questions. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
The rapid fire questions are not yes, no questions. These are questions that show your depth of hip hop culture and your brand.
Okay.
Are you ready to go?
Hey, listen.
I didn't ask you these questions before,
I was born ready.
You didn't get these questions before, so I can start from the beginning.
I don't think so, nah.
I'm gonna start from the beginning, but I'm gonna flip the questions into what you do. You ready?
Okay.
What song or album perfectly describes your life?
Oh my gosh. What song or album? I think I would go with These Are the Days of Our Lives by Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Ooh. Okay, you got some harmony in there.
That's my guy, yo. That's my guy. Bone Thugs and Harmony. That's my group, I should say. Busy Bone is my guy though, but yeah, I would go with that.
Shout out to Cleveland. Salute.
Word.
All right. Because you're behind the camera, you capture visual art that gives meaning, right?
Okay.
How do you know when your vision's caught? Is it when a person gets emotional or when a person stares off into a dream?
I think it's when a person gives me something that they're not used to giving. When they can bring a character out of themselves that they're not used to doing. Whether that's them yelling during a scene, or it's them getting emotional in an argument during a scene.
Okay. So then capturing that moment makes an impact.
Correct.
What is the most impactful scene you ever saw that made you want to direct?
Okay. That made me want to direct. I was watching The Matrix. My favorite movie franchise of all times. And there was a scene in there where Trinity gets shot. And I don't like love movies. I don't like romance movies. And Neo goes into her stomach and pulls a bullet out and like resurrects her, I guess you could say. Visually, the scene really isn't that crazy. Like there's not a bunch of crazy effects, but just the acting and everything was just like so powerful because it's an action movie. So when you see that, you're like, oh, like, okay, like Keanu really can't act, but he acted in this scene.
Okay, that's dope. Okay. Okay, that's impact. Yeah, I got you. As a director, summarize hip hop in 5 movies.
You said as an actor,
As a director,
summarize
summarize
hip hop
hip
in
hop.
5 movies.
Yeah, and
Menace
please,
to,
please
go
just
ahead.
don't just give me hip hop movies. Like really
No,
go
no, no,
into
no,
this.
no, 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 no. Menace to Society.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, in 5 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Menace to Society. Castaway.
Mm,
Catch Me If You Can.
definitely.
I want to say The Aviator, but not really. No. I would say Jurassic Park.
Okay, interesting.
Is that 4? Is that 5?
That's
I
4.
can't remember.
That's 4.
And I think the last one, Ghost.
All right, Ghost, Jurassic Park, and what was
Catch Me If You
Castaway?
Can.
No, Castaway.
I
How
got
are those?
Castaway.
How are those 3 hip hop?
I think Castaway reflects a lot on how somebody can feel ostracized on their journey to becoming a recording artist. Because, you know, when a lot of people decide they want to become a rapper or whatever, folks really just don't support them. And Tom Hanks really had to prove a lot to himself to pretty much prove that he was going to survive that island.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And what was the other one? Jurassic Park?
Yeah, please.
The Allure. The Allure. The Allure. You know what I'm saying? They created the park. It was bigger. It was grandiose. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted to be at that park, no matter how dangerous they thought it was or believed it to be. And you could pretty much say the same thing about hip hop. It's the allure. Oh, they getting shot, or you know, they got guns in the videos, but damn, I kind of want to. I want to be them. I want to be them.
Interesting. Okay. That was all 3 of them. Castaway, Jurassic Park, and Ghost. Ghost.
The love aspect. He wasn't there. The woman felt him, and I think that happens a lot in hip hop, especially with artists like DMX. DMX hit a lot of people with a lot of emotions and connected with a lot of folks as well. Even Eminem too. You know, that scene in Ghost where she's doing like the whole pottery thing, whatever, you know, that epic scene. You can pretty much, like almost put them in there in terms of similarities. Like you listen to these artists, you connect to these artists, you may shed a tear, you may not, but in hip hop, you know, a lot of it is emotion. And there are times where you'll sit here and you'll listen to an artist simply because you're going through something in life. I'm angry. I'm going to listen to such and such.
Facts. Because we look at hip hop as being bigger than music, basketball and sports is a very big teacher of hip hop culture. Who are the top 5 hip hop basketball players of all time?
Oh, like my Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, no, well, just hip hop. Who personify hip hop in the NBA the most to you? All
Iverson.
time. Yeah, he has to be number 1. He has to be.
Iverson. I would definitely say Iverson. I would say Iverson because not only because of how his style was and his trend setting of his style, but how he changed the game with the way he played basketball. We had like Pete Maravich and Magic Johnson and all these Gary Payton, all these other guys, but nobody wanted to like really understand how to perform a crossover until Iverson came in and crossed Jordan over. You know what I'm saying? And then him being defiant with his coaches. Practice. We talk about practice. He was so outspoken. Yeah, you could say he's kind of blacklisted, whatever. I don't know anything about that. I'm not in that industry, but he was very outspoken in his press conferences, definitely. And I would say a little bit of Shaq too, because of his charisma and his over-the-top personality on the court and his dominance.
You got 3 more, bro. I said 5.
Oh, my bad.
You got Iverson, Shaquille O'Neal. Who else? You get 3 more.
Isaiah Thomas. The Detroit Pistons, Isaiah Thomas, not the Boston Celtics one. The Detroit Pistons, Isaiah Thomas, because the brand of basketball. You said, yeah, the one with, yeah, exactly. Okay. The brand of basketball that Pistons team played didn't care how good the Bulls were, didn't care about Michael Jordan. They fought every game. They made sure they were going to prove a point. And Isaiah Thomas did not back down from Jordan or anybody. And he still got buckets. So I would definitely put Isaiah Thomas up there. And
Two more.
Vince Carter.
Oh, definitely.
Vince Carter, simply because of what he's done for Canada in general, for the whole sport of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say Kevin Garnett.
Not even
with his
Jordan.
competitive. You said who?
Not even Jordan. You gonna put KG up there?
I'm gonna put KG up there. I would put.
Yeah, say what you gonna say for KG. I would like to hear it.
KG's competitive spirit. Yeah, people could say, Michael Jordan is competitive, but KG's competitive spirit, when he was on the team that the owner was putting nothing around him and he stuck with it, he never caved. He never came out and demanded a trade. He never bashed his teammates on camera, even though they were trash for the majority of his career in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? He would pour his heart out, still got major buckets, still put up major numbers. And the trash talk, it's just like, every time KG was on the court, even in his latter years, he was still competitive. Yeah. It was like infectious. It was like infectious.
Yeah, you're a Boston Celtic fan, so I wanted to know what you felt.
You already know.
And you know what? The Celtics get a lot of flack because it's a racist city, Boston and Massachusetts, but the Boston Celtics was the first team in NBA history to put a person of color on their team.
I know, but people don't care about that because they got amnesia.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like everybody talking about Trump and stuff.
Yeah. But it's like, but it's crazy because you don't see people talking about that about the Utah Jazz, about them being racist. Like,
oh, yeah, very racist. Wasn't the owner the lady penalized for something she said, just like Sterling or something?
Yeah, it's that, man. We could go through all types of cities, like Oklahoma City, San Antonio, like
the Knicks.
Oh yeah, the Knicks. Yeah, exactly.
It's whatever. The New York Nakers, Los Angeles Nakers, all that. We can do all that. You know what I'm saying? The Nakers. So anyway, let's continue. We got two more questions, and then we're gonna summarize this thing all up. You know what I'm saying? My next question for you would be this. What is the ultimate goal of Moonlight Media? Everybody talks about making money or putting their stamp on the world. What is the goal of what you do?
I want us to become a franchise entity that is known to give people opportunities to make a real difference. And what I mean by that is not like how McDonald's will say, oh, we'll pay for you to go to school. You know what I'm saying? But you got to work for us. But I want people to know when they're part of this team, when they're part of this team and they're part of this brand, they have a legitimate opportunity to leave a lasting legacy in whatever they do, whether they just doing graphic design or they're actually like on a film set.
Word. See, that's very important. Because at the end of the day, what you do inspires, which goes into our last question. For everybody out there watching, this is Karev from Heritage Hip Hop with Abwon of Moonlight Media. He works with artists. Shout out to Trini the Body. Right? Who we have podcast on recording tomorrow. He does the cinematics with Jen the Camera. Salute to Jen. Haven't seen you in a while. I'm happy that you're good. On Halls Mills Network. He does Face to Face, which is an interview show who I hope to be on soon on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get it.
But more importantly, he's a visionary that's inspiring with not only his hard work, he's also going to have a major marketing deal with Oreo real soon because he always promotes the hell out them Oreo cookies on Instagram and on Facebook. So, you know what I'm saying? Oreo, cut the check, Nabisco. My man, he got money.
Word.
And whoever sends him an Oreo cake, you get a prize from Heritage Hip Hop. Salute. All right. But the main important question I have to ask, which is important for your first interview. So when you come back and we talk again, it's not going to be the same question. But this question is the most important question I ask of every first interview, and it's this. 1,000 years from now, when they go into the TV Hall of Fame, Moonlight Media LLC is going to be there.
Okay.
And people are going to look at your picture like they look at Bob Johnson. They look at Dick Ebersol. They look at I don't know, Chuck Woolery. I don't know, whoever owns stuff, I guess. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna look at you and they're gonna see you in the suit, but they're gonna see a movie about your life being done over being a visionary. My question is, when people go back into the history and see the level that you've achieved to be like Dick Ebersol, Walt Disney, and all these people, what is the legacy that you left on the world that made the world better because you put your vision out?
Man, the legacy that I'm going to leave behind. I would say sacrifice, hard work, and knowing. Oh man,
Deep question, right?
it's a deep question. It's a deep question because I know exactly what I want people to see when they see me. You know what I'm saying? I know what I want people to what's supposed to be synonymous. I would definitely say sacrifice, hard work, and just knowing, just having funnel vision. I got that term from Irv Gotti when I met him in a networking event one time. When people see my picture on the wall, even if they just look at my Avi from Instagram, I want people to know self-made is probably the biggest one. Self-made, self-taught, self-made. Nobody, I didn't go to film school. Nobody taught me how to use a camera. Nobody taught me how to edit. I taught myself how to do everything. And I just pretty much just work on my strengths. I use them to my advantage, and my weaknesses, I work at getting better every day.
And that's what makes him a visionary, ladies and gentlemen, is because to be self-taught means you have to have that drive or hunger within you. One of the major lessons that Christ taught in the Bible was that the kingdom of heaven is within you. So when you have a single eye and is focused on doing better, not only do you praise God with your actions, you also give back to God's creation, which is hip hop, which is you, by giving our best with everything that we do. You agree? So with that being said, I'm going to share the screen real quick for everybody out there watching as we close out. If you can see me right here, this is heritagehiphop.com. Thank you for watching Heritage Hip Hop on YouTube. This is our mother landing spot, Heritage Hip Hop. And as you see, as a login, become a member to heritagehiphop.com, and you get free music, and you also get to see things that we've done prior that you may not get on social media. This is our interview with Stormy Maya, the woman behind the Go Black Man song, Black Man Magic, who's also in the movie with J-Lo and everybody, Cardi B and Hustlers. We have our podcast. Newest episode is with La Boogie, Billy Danzy, son of MOP, Japanese rapper Omen 44, Australian rapper Optimistic. We have international artists, as you see on the screen. So we're not only in New Jersey, we celebrate hip hop around the world. From the unknown.
You got a interview with Yo-Yo too, right?
Yep, there it is right there.
I'm
to
gonna
the unknown and the known.
Yeah.
Yo-Yo actually lives in South Orange. If you didn't know that, check that out.
Oh, word! I'm about to. I got a link with her because I know she works with some people that I work with as well too. So,
well, that's what's up.
I'm gonna see, maybe we could set up like a photo shoot or something.
Hit her.
Who was that next to her? Is that Fredro Starr to her right?
I did Fredro Starr interview last week. Yes.
Yo, Onyx is one of my favorite groups of all time.
Hey man, let's make it happen because he's coming.
That's my guy.
They actually wanted to do something on the East with AAU basketball. We'll talk about that later. So because they got the new Ewing Onyx shoe that came out. So as you see, we do industry artists and heritage hip hop as well. As you see, Billy Danzy, Yo-Yo, Fredro Starr, Cassidy. We've done Rampage of the Flip Mode Squad. We've done more people. Find out yourself. One of my favorite interviews was with Razzcast, West Coast MC, and we did Intel from Second Generation Wu. All right.
Yeah, Razzcast is one of my favorite rappers of all time.
We have celebrity interviews. This is Nevaeh, and this is Nocturnal, two MCs from New Jersey. We support New Jersey hip hop from domestic to international around the world. Our world premiere is the 050 Boys. We salute all New Jersey talent. So if you're an MC from Jersey and you have a catalog, not just singles and videos, we work with you and help premiere your music first on Heritage Hip Hop. See that free music? You come to this page, you click on it, and all members get access to free albums. We can't tell you who they are. It's a surprise to all our members. And playlists that you could download as well. We have live shows. We have Lords of the Underground and Amara La Negra on the website as well. Ciphers, people like freestyles and bars. This is the cipher from Double O's video shoot featuring Tretch and Do It All Do with his new song, Dust Till Dawn. Shout out to Fatty's Place, my partner BQ, who's going through his struggle right now. May he come home with the Most High's blessings, healed up. He does the Women of Talent. So if you're a lady out there who has talent, you will be seeing Trinity the Body here very soon.
Word. Shout out to Trinity the Body. Paper single out right now. All streaming platforms. Go download that.
We could dig it. So here we go with the music videos. Showcase music videos. Here's our feature playlist, Heritage Hip Hop playlist number 5 that came out last week, where we take an album's worth of songs and make a playlist. We don't give you 60 songs. We do it old school. We can fill up one CD that you can listen to in one sitting. All right. We celebrate comic book and anime culture in hip hop. This is Blurred Hop, as you see the Paid in Full album, but with Spider-Man and Deadpool, and we also feature cosplayers as well, because hip hop is beyond music. It's also in our print media and our written word as well. Galleries, blogs, verses is like talking to this gentleman right here. Everybody does not rap, but we're all in the hip hop culture and we all have things to say. This is a preschool teacher, Scumbag Steve, and this is a model and mortician, Tanisha B. Malone, who had
mortician.
She had an interview on CBS, NBC, and Fox News, because she's the mortician from New Jersey who was putting dandelions on people's graves, on people's bodies who died of COVID, who honored their death because their families couldn't get with them.
Wow.
So you can see Miss Malone on Heritage Hip. This is her verses, but we also have an interview with her too. Remember, like I said, members only, free albums, BC Era, Out the Mud Movement, Jersey playlist number 1 featuring Ibmatic, Soulless, Jay Wonder, and Samad Savage, and a tribute to Jay Dilla from a Plainfield group called Chill Lounge. Here's our shop where we have our store. Our store is storefrontier.com. I don't have it on there right now. Pardon me, everybody. But as you see, we have shirts, we have hoodies, and we have much more for sale to celebrate Heritage Hip Hop. You buy a hat. It's getting cold outside. New Jersey Black Print, customized art, Griff T Apparel. We offer services, whether you want an interview, a podcast, a blog written up, and soon we're going to be teaching classes on independency. So if you're an artist that wants to not only be someone who makes music, but is seen, heard, or take your brand to the next level, come to Heritage Hip Hop. Our affiliates, this episode is brought to you by Transparent Credit Repair. If you're looking to change your life, one decision could change your life. But by clicking on this link, you fill out the questionnaire. Not only do you get 20% off of all services on credit repair, you're also getting a network of people who help you build your business if you want to start one. Also, financial literacy. So open your wallet to more money instead of paying out more debt by going to heritagehiphop.com and clicking on Transparent Credit Repair. Here's our sponsors and our affiliates, whether it's Fatty's Place, Do It All Media, Righteous and Rugged, HBTV, Goodfellas, etc. You see it all there. We salute everybody who works with us. So to everybody out there, thank you for watching this episode. And remember, greatness begins within you. Hip hop is more than music. Hip hop is a heritage. And since we are God's heritage, hip hop is God. So respect the God within you and give honor to the Most High every day that you're alive. Stay safe during COVID. As I'm affected, it is very rough. So to everybody out there who has it, please get through it. And everybody who does not have it, stay safe and don't get it, because it will tear you up.
Word.
With that being said, this is Karel for Heritage Hip Hop saying peace, and we out.
Peace.